A Loaned Redemption. Written and read by Gregory the Raven Fan. 87546 had been shut up in the shed for a few days for his rude behavior. He was miserable, and he began to question his past actions and wondered if maybe what he was doing might have been wrong. Then, the fat director came to see him. "Good morning, 87546, he said. "Morning, sir," replied 87546. "I hope you learned your lesson about being kind to others." "Yes, I have, sir," replied 87546. "That's good. Now I will let you out if you promise to work hard." "Yes, sir, I will." "That's good. But please remember that this attitude of yours must stop." "You got it, sir," replied 87546, and he puffed away. Just as 87546 arrived at the big station, he noticed 98462 talking to Henry. "Be careful, Henry," said 98462. "The rain will spoil your lovely green paint with red stripes." "Do you really think so?" said Henry. "Oh, yes. I knew an engine on my old railway." And he told Henry the story of his friend on the other railway. When he had finished, Henry was horrified and puffed away. When 87546 heard everything, he was furious. "I used to be friends with him, but now I don't think I want to be by his side anymore." And he puffed off to find the fat director. Henry had got stuck in a tunnel for not coming out because of the rain. Thomas came to see him. "Henry," he asked, "what made you do this?" "It was 98462, said Henry. 98462 did this to you?" said Thomas. "Wait till I get him." And he puffed away to tell the fat director. But when Thomas arrived, the fat director was already waiting. "Ah, Thomas, we were just joking about you." "We?" He turned and saw 98462 grinning. "I was just telling this fine director that you told Henry that the rain will spoil his paint." "What? No, I didn't," said Thomas. "I don't believe you, Thomas. Go to your shed at once." "That will not be necessary," called a voice. It was 87546. 87546? Is that you?" said Thomas. "Yes, Thomas, it's me." "Excuse me, sir, but what's he doing here?" "Doing the right thing, you scoundrel," 87546 snapped. "And what would that be?" "That 98462 was the reason Henry got stuck in the tunnel, and not Thomas." "And why should I believe you, 87546? asked the fat director. "I was puffing into the big station one day when I heard Henry and 98462 having a conversation. He was telling Henry about some random story which was obviously fake, just to make him think that the rain would spoil his paint." "So you're telling me that this was all just some elaborate scheme?" 98462 said nothing. "You shall leave my railway at once." And 98462 puffed sadly away. "Thank you so much, 87546. You saved me." "No problem, Thomas. After all, I want to change my ways." "Well done, 87546. You have improved your behavior. Would you like to stay on Sodor for a few days?" Yes, sir, said 87546. I will. Also, I would like to be given a name. Of course, said the fat director. What would you like to be named? I would like to be named Colton, because I've seen a few people with that name, and I like it. Then Colton it shall be, said the stat director. 87546 was now named Colton. He's a much more happy engine nowadays. And he made amends with Henry and the other engines, even Gordon, and now they're all great friends. A few days later, it was time for 87546 to go home. Come back and see us soon, whistled the engines. And you are always welcome on my railway too, replied Colton. Then he turned to Edward. And Edward, I don't believe I apologized. For what? You know. For calling you old and saying that the driver won't choose you again. I just want to say that I'm really sorry. Don't worry about it, Colton. It's in the past. Thank you, Edward, said Colton. Soon, the signal dropped and Colton puffed away. Goodbye, everyone, he said. Goodbye, Colton, called Henry. Always remember something. On Sodor, any engine with a changed attitude has use here. And just like that, Colton smiled, and he puffed back to his old railway, riding into the sunset, glad to have worked on such a good railway with such great friends.